Testing, hot outbound call. 1, 2, 3, 4. You want to hear?
Are you ready?
Make the approach. Plant your feet firmly in the ground. Head down. Eyes on the ball. Relax. That's it. Get your left arm straight. Your right arm straight. Relax. Lower your right shoulder. Go!
The Honeymooners Podcast, the only podcast that is all about the greatest show of all time. With the stars, Joe Conti and Louis Fats.
Welcome, fellow raccoons and members of the Women's Auxiliary. What's happening? All you Hurricanes, Bensonhurst Bombers, and all you Frank the Barbers of the world. You're listening to, believe it or not, the Honeymooners Podcast with me, Joe Conti, and my pal, Louis Fats.
Oh, slip of the lip will sink a ship.
That's right. We are slipping. The only discussion-based podcast all about the greatest show of all time. We record in the Non-Productive Studios in Clifton, New Jersey. Subscribe to the show wherever you get your podcasts. And if you're on iTunes, give us a 5-star rating and leave a positive review. And don't forget, our home base is the Non-Productive website. And don't forget to like our Honeymooners Podcast Facebook page. And Louis, it has been a while.
Oh, man.
It is number 36, and it feels like we haven't. It feels like it's our first episode.
It does. I'm totally out of it. I have no idea what we're doing right here. I don't even know how we're going to get through this.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm like, yes, my name is Ralph. It's the Joe and Jackie and Audrey. Louis over here, and I didn't. Lucky I actually have it and I read it. So I don't have my own flub every week. But thank you, everybody, for giving us a listen and for being patient with us. Because our last couple that we did online, we were happy with the material.
I thought the shows were
good.
Shows were really good, I thought.
But we just didn't like the we're just used to being in the same room.
Yeah, looking at each other.
And it's a podcast almost like in an old radio kind of format where it's a conversation, and we were just like, you know what, we're going to hold out. Yeah. And, I mean, it's not like anybody's going anywhere.
No, really.
Yeah, really. Where are you going?
Where are you going?
Oh, we were going to go on vacation. No, you're not. You're not going anywhere. So, you're going to enjoy the show. But we're back, and we've been getting so much love on Facebook and from friends. When are you guys coming back? When are you coming back? When is my ship going to come in? When's my ship going to come in? Well, it's here. The Queen Mary. So, but thank you. And, we're off number 36, and we're assuming that everything, we have a couple, we're doing a couple of things here. They got some rules for the studio and all that, but the way it's set up, it's perfect. Me and Louis are way more than 6 feet away from each other.
That's right.
We could still see each other's pretty faces.
That's right.
And we're good.
I'm about the closest anyone can get to Joe Conti.
Yes, and if you want, I'll put pictures, my baby pictures up later on. But it's been a long time, and I'm very, very happy.
Joe, I've been like on a honeymoon sabbatical. I mean, I haven't been doing anything. I haven't been watching them. Mm-hmm. I haven't been going on the Facebook pages to go know what's going on. I barely checked the email. If anybody wrote us, I'm sorry.
He's apologizing in advance.
But it actually feels good. I feel coming back. I'm fresh.
Yes, and I'll be honest. Because I have it on my my DVR. Mm-hmm. Whenever Honeymooners comes up, it'll just record.
Right.
And it'll stay for like a month or two, and then they'll rate until the next ones come up.
Okay.
So it's kind of cool because then I'll click on it and go, oh, okay, this one, it'll be like, Mama Loves Mamba or whatever. Yeah. So it's not like you're just, I'm going to watch this one. You kind of get surprised.
Yeah.
It's like, shuffling your favorite music.
Yeah, it's like a
song. Just playing the album.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly.
But once I knew that the studio was going to be open and we were going to be in here this week, I dabbled. I listened to. I watched 4 or 5 episodes just to get back in the. It's like hitting the heavy bag.
Yeah.
Got to get back
into
into
George and hit the bag.
Yes,
like he's got a heavy bag in his living room.
Exactly, and I'm going to protect my face, and then the honeymoon is going to hit me in the stomach. That's just what happens. But so we. kind of got back into it a little bit,
yeah.
you know?
And we will. So today, if we ever like a little flubbish here and there, it's just, it's
we
just
might
like
be doing,
jitters.
Yeah, we'll be doing flubs next week about this week's show. But yes, so we really, we're thankful for everybody who gave us so much of the love, and hey, when you got, almost like breaking our chops a little bit.
Yeah,
like,
really.
When are you getting in there and all that? But
people like say, you could do this remotely. Yeah, we know that, but we don't like it.
Yeah, we just
don't like it. I don't like it. This is me. Me and my 8-track world. I just can't get used to stuff like that. I really can't.
Right.
I mean, me and Joe, see, like right now, we love talking over each other.
Oh, yeah.
And you can't do that online.
But it's fine to talk over each other. Because as soon as the guy talks over it, the other guy just stops. We know. But a little thing, we may be doing a live show, a remote live show, a special show with Frank, who runs the studio, and where we'll do the show that we're doing, but we'll be doing it remotely with whatever we're listening to playing.
Okay.
And Frank is really interested in this. He's got this special website that he wants to do it with, and he wants to do the show. He thinks it could get on one of the networks that plays the Honeymooners. He thinks he can get that episode on their website.
Oh, great.
That's how much Frank has confidence in us.
Oh, wow.
He's got the confidence enough for the both of us. With us, we're just quoting lines, a couple of zilches. But so we figured we'll start off with the first thing. We've always talked about the inconsistencies.
Yeah, the show's very inconsistent.
Very inconsistent.
We've covered it a zillion times.
A zillion times, right? It's like, oh, well, he said he was going to go here, but then, in the next episode, it's something completely different.
Yeah.
They had the phone in, and then they didn't have the phone in.
Yeah,
right. Yeah. All of that. But we found something very, very unlike the Honeymooners that we're used to, and it was consistency. We found something that is so consistent, we couldn't believe it.
Yeah, we were like, whoa.
We were like, wait a minute, what is that? So,
is that a character?
Yeah. So here is the consistency. And it actually was a part of a flub that we did.
Yeah.
In what is the episode? The Trapped. Part of Trapped.
Part of our Trapped.
Yep.
The episode that we've covered.
But it's 2 different episodes that made this thing where it was consistent.
Yep.
And we sound like we're talking in code here, but once we play it, you'll understand what we're talking about. All right, so here is the one part where, wait, nope, you don't have a sense of humor. Where am I talking about? Saturday. Here we go. Okay.
So you haven't lost it.
Brandon. You tied the house record 17 in a row.
And now I'm going to hit in the 18th bowl and break the house record.
You know something? There's something I can't figure out about your game. Anytime you come in here on a Saturday afternoon, you shoot like a champ. But when you play at night, you're a sucker for every guy that comes into the place. Now, what have you got on Saturday afternoon that you haven't got at night?
It isn't what I haven't got on Saturday afternoon. It's what I have got. Norton. That guy will drive you nuts.
Okay. Now, we all know the flub where it's really not what he...
Yeah, we went over that.
We went over that, right.
Have a God or have God.
Have a God, but...
He just flipped it.
But it doesn't matter because we know what they're trying to say.
It's like Yogi Berra. It doesn't come out right, but you know exactly what he's talking about.
Yes, exactly.
He's talking about.
Right. So, that is him basically saying, hey, he plays good on Saturday because Norton is not there.
Yep.
Okay. So you say, all right, that's a cute little thing.
Yeah.
And then we have this. On another episode, it was Head of the Household.
Head of the Household.
Yep. They were drinking, and it was the next day, and they were in the break room. Norton came down, I think, with the big sandwich.
Right.
And Joe Fensterblau.
Right before Fensterblau.
Yep. Right before Fensterblau comes in, and you'll notice what Ed says.
Hey, I got a news flash for you. I'm going to play a little pool with you this afternoon.
This is Saturday afternoon. I thought you went shopping with Trixie on Saturday afternoon.
I don't care whether it's Saturday afternoon. I told Trixie to go shopping by herself. I'm going to play pool with you. I said you either like it or you lump it.
Very good, pal.
You're beautiful. She lumped it.
Okay, I'm pausing it before the next part because we're going to get into that afterwards.
That's another
This
thing.
is something that we just noticed. But here it is. The inconsistency of this show is so consistent. I don't even know if they did it on purpose. But in this episode, he mentions that he's never around on Saturday because he's shopping with Trixie.
That's his Saturday afternoon gig.
That's his Saturday afternoon gig. Exactly. So for some reason, on 2 different episodes, they tied these two tiny little, not even stories that really matter. And it ended up being consistent.
Like you said before, they probably didn't even realize it. It was just they probably just wrote it in for the show.
And it ends up being this thing where you're like,
hey,
whoa.
So
all the inconsistencies.
So he really doesn't shoot pool on Saturday.
He really doesn't shoot pool on Saturday. Yes. So that was our little thing where we were like, whoa, this is cool. Almost like an observation.
Yeah, basically an observation. Yeah.
But an observation on something that we would never think because everything is always about, well, when they had this, and then the next day, it kind of is the opposite of whatever happened to.
Yeah, basically that's what it is.
Right.
Whatever happened to is based on a lot of inconsistencies.
Exactly.
Right.
So that's our little thing, all right, with that. But just now, while we were getting this ready, we're playing I'm recording the little clip.
Right, the clip.
And then if you know, and if you're all, big, huge fans that know every line, you know that Joe Fensterblau comes in.
Right.
And he's like, hey, Norton. And he says, I don't know what kind of thing. But listen to what he says, and he calls Ralph. I didn't notice it, but Louie did.
Hey, Wendy. Joe Fensterblau, just the guy I wanted to see.
Okay. Hi, Norton. Hi, Lewindy.
We don't know what he's saying. Windy?
Windy?
I don't know what it is.
Hey, Lewindy. It almost sounds like it goes, hey, Lewindy.
Yeah, so I thought it was Windy. Me and Joe were going back and forth because, like, what would Windy? Ralph's a windbag. We know that. With his always blah, 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 all over the place. So does he call him Windy? Is it short for, like, windbag?
If that is,
that's
hilarious.
What he's saying.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And it should have been, like, more prominent.
Yeah.
And be like, what do you mean, Windy? Come on, you windbag,
Yeah.
But, like, hey, Lewindy.
Yeah. So if anybody out there has an opinion, or actually knows, or you think you know,
right.
Write us, call us,
Yeah, write us. Yeah.
Write us.
We're not doing the Little House on the Prairie podcast, all right? Don't write us letters and have the Pony Express send it to us. Write us a letter. Louie, you're such a tiny
I'll give you my P.O. box.
Write us.
We're
looking for some pen pals. But email us.
That's what I meant.
Which is Bangzoom.
Bangzoom1956 at Gmail.
Or send us a message on the Honeymooners page.
The page,
on Facebook. Or if you're friends with me on Facebook or Louie.
Yeah.
More likely me.
No, him. I have one friend, Joe.
Yeah. But yes, send it to us. Let us know what he says. And I'll play it again.
Yeah.
Just to, I'm going to have to get it up to the part here.
Hey, I got a news.
Here we go.
She lumped it.
Hey, Wendy. Joe Fensterblau, just the guy I wanted to see.
I don't know what it is. I don't know what
it is. A great, weird find that you... This wasn't like... it was 5 minutes before we came on.
Yeah, we're just like, what the heck did he just say?
What did he say? And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, listen to what he says. Hey, Lewindy.
Yeah, Windy or like...
Windy, Lewindy, Windbag. I don't know, but what a great, quick find.
Yeah.
A guy who doesn't really understand how email works, but can figure that out right away. So...
Just write me a letter. Don't worry.
All right. So, we're going to do our next little clip. And our next clip is, well, you know what? We haven't done, we haven't done a lot in a while.
Not in a while, like at least 2 months.
Yeah, but we haven't heard this in a while. Can you guys recognize this song?
I know this.
The Honeymooners podcast presents Whatever Happened To. The boys go deep into their shallow minds and try to imagine what would have happened to certain situations in the show if the episode had a to be continued or a part 2. Yeah, I know. Joe and Louie need real jobs. And now here's Whatever Happened To.
Our friend Joe Fernandez with that.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Thank you. All right, so
great intro.
Yes, wonderful intro and a good song.
I like that song. Yeah, I like that song. Yeah.
Is that Lady Gaga?
Something. Yeah. Who's that?
Is it Cher?
Yeah.
I think it's Cher who sings that song.
Without Sonny.
Yeah, without Sonny.
She'll never make it.
She didn't. That Paul Simon, he won't make it without Garfunkel.
Never, these guys. Never.
So, our Whatever Happened To is a great observation that Louis made, and it is in the episode of The Babysitter.
Yes.
Alice surprises Ralph with the phone. Mm-hmm. He gets all upset. And then they go to the barber shop.
Right.
And he goes to get a shave and all that. But he's got flowers and candy. And he's going to bring them to the house. And he's going to let Alice keep the phone.
Right.
And that will make things better.
Right.
Well, whatever happened to the flowers and candy? He walks in the house. He must have just gotten a shave, smelled the flowers, and ate the candy.
Like Norton suggested.
Like he suggested, exactly. And obviously, he finds out that Alice, some guy mentions Alice's name, and he freaks out. Yeah. But the phone, he never let her keep the phone.
No.
Because the phone's gone the next.
That's the inconsistency.
The inconsistency of the show.
What do you call them, Joe? One-offs? The shows are called
one-offs.
I think they're called one-offs.
One-offs.
Yeah.
They're like a single standing
thing, you know.
Right.
There's little consistency. Of course, it has to be, but
yeah, it's pretty much the characters are the only thing that are
they're consistent. Right.
Yes.
Right.
But it's like he comes home. He's got like, what'd you do with the flowers? Did you just throw them in the garbage on the way out? Or did you see a homeless guy and gave him the candy and gave some broad, some dame the flowers? Yeah, it was just it was an interesting little Louis, whatever happened
to, yeah.
You know, like whatever happened to the flowers and the candy. And the candy. Now, from there, we're going to go right into, and it's in the same scene. Yes. Yeah. In the same scene, and here we go.
And now, from the observation deck overlooking the Johnson Building at 328 Chauncey Street, the Honeymooners podcast presents Louis' Observations.
Yes, Louis' Observations. You remember that, kids? Do you know the song, Louis? Do you know the song?
I think I can get it.
You've heard the song?
Yeah.
All right, good. So, in keeping in with that same episode and the same scene when they go to the barbershop, forget about the flowers and the candy. He makes this great observation. Going from the tax episode, the worry wart, where Alice says...
She says to Ralph, I told you, Ralph, to go down to the barbershop and get your taxes done. Now.
In other words, one of the guys down there...
hangs out in a barbershop, okay? Yes. Now, back in the day, okay, now I say I grew up in a neighborhood very similar to where Ralph lives. The barbershop was a place, there was a local guy who lived around the corner from you. Everybody knew him. You all went to the guy. And that's the way it was. It wasn't like this. It wasn't like today. Go a salon. You don't go to a salon. You went to a barbershop.
Yep.
And guys were constantly hanging out at the barbershop.
Yeah.
That's what you did. That's where you went.
Yeah, it was
that's
great.
Where you
got conversations.
You put your numbers in at the
at
the barbershop days before the pick 4 and the pick 3.
Yeah.
We had
and you know what? The barbershop thing is all cultures.
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
It doesn't matter. You're a black neighborhood, Spanish neighborhood. Barbershop is the place to hang out.
Exactly. It was a place. So they go into this barbershop. It's like they're going into this salon where they don't know anybody. Like that's not how it was.
Can I just a shave.
Just a shave. Frank? Yeah, okay. Thank you, Frank. Yeah. Like, you knew it. Like when they walked in, it would have been, "Hey, Ralph, hey,
what's going on? How's the sewer? How you doing? You still floating? You still head above water? Hey, you know, with all the jokes,
all the corny jokes,
nothing. And I like the fact that we're bringing up the barbershop a couple times because we all know that people have gone like 3 months without getting a haircut with the whole pandemic.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So I figured it's a good little tie-in.
Good little tie-in.
Yeah, little tie-in. But yeah, it's great because they all know each other, and she even mentions it.
Yeah, like
in the one other
episode,
show.
Like there's going to be a guy down at that barbershop who knows how to do taxes.
Yes,
even if he doesn't.
Yeah,
he's going to say he does.
You want a haircut? No. I just need. I want to need a shave, and I need my taxes done. Does anybody here know how to do taxes? Anybody got taxes? Norton, while you're sticking a scissor up your nose, let me know if anybody knows anything about taxes.
W-9 over there.
This W-9 has blue stain on it. It must be the blue water.
The blue water for the combs in there.
For the combs. But what a great...
So that was the observation of the barbershop.
Observation. And that's a great observation because of your experience in your culture and your relatives.
In the neighborhood.
Because I wouldn't have thought that.
Yeah, no, that's the way it was, and every barber was from Italy. These guys were off the boat,
Absolutely. And people went to the same place.
Everybody went. You went. Yeah. You went to this guy, you went, no matter how bad he was.
And of course you went to get to know them.
You went there. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I went.
Well, we know. You can see.
What a great observation about the actual barbershop and Ralph not knowing anybody there. It was beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. So now we want to go. Now they're going to be considered flubs. We're going to call them.
Yeah, we're going to call it a flub. Right. Yeah.
Look.
It's not like a word, like our normal flubs, Joe, are like word stumbles and spoonerisms, but it's not that. Right. It's kind of a flub.
Right. And look, we discussed this before we went on the air. One thing that we're going to run out of is flubs.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. Yeah. We're never going to run out of what to talk about or whatever. No. So as the show goes on, their flubs might be a little bit more, we're reaching.
We're really reaching for a flub.
We're going to be reaching for a flub. Yeah. And you know what? I think down the road we'll probably bring back other flubs have a little more fun with them.
Why not?
Absolutely.
Why not?
Because there's just nothing that's funnier than listening to a flub. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Calamine, you deserve
that's not the one. But anyway, well here we go. We're gonna do.
We're back in our rear floor. Ooh, that song again.
And now the Honeymooners
I've heard
podcast
this.
presents.
It's not in the top hand, trick hand drawer.
The flub of the week.
I haven't heard that in so long.
It's fresh.
It's fresh again. It's fresh again. It's like I've never heard that before. Unbelievable.
Oh God!
It's the greatest flub of any show of all time. It is great.
God.
All right. So, we have two flubs, and they're not really flubs, but
flub.
It's almost like a flub / observation.
Yeah,
it's a whole little hodgepodge.
And the kind of thing we think it is a flub. Maybe construe this as a right, Joe. Maybe we were, like you said, we were reaching a little bit.
We're reaching a little bit, but we're
allowed
okay. That. We're allowed that. We're not doing a show. We're not doing a show hammering the show.
No,
you know what I mean. We're doing a show that we love.
We love, and it's all out of love.
Exactly. We're allowed to trash it a little bit.
It's out of love
because it's out of love. So.
And we're running out of stuff.
So the first one is something. It was from the deciding vote.
Yes.
When Ralph thinks that Norton didn't vote for him.
Norton betrayed
him. And he's very upset,
Mm-hmm.
and he's going through his rant, and then he says this.
Well, that's how it goes. History repeats itself. Brutus had his Caesar. Cramden's got his Norton.
And
okay. So now
Louis makes the great observation.
It should be, he says, Cramden has his Norton, right? So he says Brutus has his Caesar.
Right.
It should be Caesar had his Brutus.
Cramden has his Norton. Right. And look, it's like we were saying before, you know what he meant.
Exactly.
It's not like it did because it was switched. Yeah. You didn't know what he was talking about.
Right.
You knew what he was talking about.
Yeah.
It was just switched, but it's right because it's Caesar didn't betray Brutus.
Right. It's the other way around.
It's the other way around.
Betrayed Ralph.
Right.
Brutus betrayed Caesar.
So. Right. And like I said, it doesn't affect anything. It's just 65 years later, two guys get to talk about it.
Like, hey, Joe, we're running out of flubs.
Yes, exactly. With all these other idiots listening to us, like we know what we're talking about. But yes, that's the one.
And there's another one just like that. Okay, we're going to play that one.
And the other one is in the episode Pardon My Glove. Pardon My Glove. And then when they come in late and Norton's got the pizza. And then Ralph has to have the salad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes. Poor old pizza ain't good for nothing. Classic line.
Classic line.
But then Ed says
People
this.
still use it these days.
Yes.
In a pizzeria.
In a pizzeria.
I do.
Yeah. The people, meaning you. All right. Here we go.
I'm telling you, if pizzas were manhole covers, the sewer would be a paradise.
That's a funny line.
Funny line.
You know exactly what
he
he's
means,
saying.
and it's
but
funny,
Louis,
but here it is.
go
It
ahead.
should be, if manhole covers were pizzas, the sewer would be a paradise.
Right.
Not pizzas were manhole covers. It should be
Right.
manhole covers were pizzas.
Because if pizzas were manhole covers, it would be the worst pizzerias ever.
Be like-
Because they would be pizzas coming out and they would be manhole
be
covers.
like worse than like Domino's. Like
Yeah, it would be basically Domino's.
You know?
Domino's, yes. But that is a great observation. But it didn't. It's not like it took away from the joke.
no,
You
because
still
know
understood
like,
what he
understood
meant.
what he's saying.
But we're just nitpicking
here because
we don't
that's
have
what
many,
we do.
Yes, we don't have many
Yeah.
more flubs.
2 months to think of it, so it's like
Yeah, exactly. Yes. So, great. I don't even. Yeah, they're flub / observations.
Observation, yeah.
Yeah, inconsistency, whatever it is.
Yeah.
But well, listen, we're already at 25
Oh,
minutes.
good. All right, that's
It's
good.
Very
That's
good.
good.
Of course. So, before we go, we want to do a trivia.
Okay.
We're not going to do anything.
No, I'm not going to go crazy. I'm going to give Joe
No.
a chance to get back. No,
Yeah.
you know, what were you calling it? Oh,
Rapid
rapid fire. We're not
fire,
going to do a
yeah.
rapid fire.
Yeah.
We're not going to do sudden death. We're just
Yeah,
going
yeah.
to hit Joe with a question.
Yeah, yeah.
And we're going to get in and out.
Yeah, this isn't the NFL playoffs.
Yeah, no,
all
no.
right? I just maybe give me one question and I
No,
might be able to
that's
get. And but then we are excited that we're back.
Yeah, we're
and-
back. Yeah,
yes.
yeah. It just feels so good.
Yes,
Feels
it sure
good.
does.
Yeah.
So,
Good. All right, Joe. Here's the question.
we don't have a trivia intro, do we? I don't think
No,
we
I
do,
don't think
right?
we do.
No,
No,
I don't.
no,
I'll
no.
have to make one of those. All right.
We've been doing it from week one. You'd think we.
I know. It's been so long. I'm like totally brain dead
It's
here.
it's been consistent.
Yes.
Trivia.
All right. So,
All right. So now Ralph comes from one of your favorite, Joe, the Bensonhurst Bomber.
okay.
Okay. They closed the pool room in Ralph's honor.
Right.
Who are the 3 guys that were going to show up from the pool room to watch Ralph fight?
I know Nutsy. Nutsy is the.
Nutsy's the one.
Wow.
Yeah. This,
The first two, because Nutsy's the third guy.
Nutsy's the third one. Yeah. Because he actually know why he actually went on with Nutsy. He's going Nutsy,
Right,
Ralph.
right. Nutsy's
Guy
never
was
missed
with the
it.
Day in a pool room in his life. Yeah.
Give me the first guy. I might be able to get the second.
Shifty.
Shifty.
Starts with an R.
Shifty. Red? Is it?
Yeah.
Shifty, Red,
Red,
and
and
Nutsy.
Nutsy.
I don't even know if I would have. Wow. Shifty, when you said Shifty, I'm
Right.
like, oh, Shifty.
Yeah,
but
Shifty.
Red,
Red,
I was like,
yeah.
oh, my God. And then, of course, Nutsy.
Nutsy.
Which we
We have a
suppose
story of a real life schedule. We do have a real life story of Nutsy.
friend of ours,
Yes.
Rich,
Yes.
right? His dad was friends with the guy who they based Nutsy on.
Was he friends with Nutsy himself or Nutsy's son?
Maybe it's Nutsy's son, but in other words, Nutsy is
a real-
in other words, they use that name Nutsy from a real guy.
A
that
real
Gleason
guy that
knew.
Gleason knew.
Yeah,
'Cause
isn't that-
Gleason. We're here in Jersey.
We're in
North,
Jersey,
North
right,
Jersey, and Gleason did hang out a lot in Newark.
Yes.
And Richie's from the area, our friend of ours from the area.
Yep.
And that's where this Nutsy must have come from.
And he-
Gleason hanging out in pool rooms in Newark when he
Yep.
was working, when he was a young, struggling actor.
Right.
Or / comedian, whatever
Yep.
you want to call him at the time. And he did hang out in Newark because Newark was a little vibrant back then.
Yep.
And Nutsy was one of the guys
And
from
then-
Ralph's past, from Gleason, I should say Gleason's past.
Right.
In the Newark area.
And our friend.
Yep.
And look, we've known him forever, and
Yeah.
he's not one of these people who would.
No,
lie
he's
to
not
us.
making up a story.
No,
No, not at all.
No.
Not at all.
In fact, he would probably not. He would downplay it,
Yeah.
because that's just the way Rich
Yep.
is. But he told us that either his dad knew
Knew
Nutsy,
Nutsy,
or he knew Nutsy's son.
One of them. That's something. The story is something like that.
Right.
But that's
Yeah.
One or the other. It's one or the other.
But it's very cool.
It's cool, yeah.
It's
so there
very,
actually is a
very cool.
person out there named Nutsy.
That was named Nutsy. That was a great pool player and was friends with Gleason.
Yep.
And so we had a little tie.
Yep.
Little tie-in.
Little
with
tie-in right there.
So, well, listen, we thank you. Thank you. Episode number 36 in the books. We're back. We will be back doing shows, like I said, once a week, getting them out there. Thank you. And if anybody wants to call us and leave a voicemail, they can call us. And, it's 240-HIGH-C&K. I think it's 240-442-2635. It's the voicemail for my other show, but it's also, you can leave a voicemail for us, and we'll play it on the air.
Joe handles all those voicemails for both shows.
Yes,
So.
yeah, exactly.
Or, like I said, you always write a letter. I mean,
Right, yeah. Write a letter. But thank you. All of the Facebook groups, the Honeymooners Raccoon Lodge especially, the Classic 39, our pal, the great Brother Norton.
Yeah.
He's got his Honeymooners Trivia podcast. He also does a weekly, 5-minute podcast. That's a trivia one called Thursday. I think it's called Honeymooners Thursday Trivia. Definitely give him a listen. He's a great guy, and it's a fun podcast to listen to, both of them. And I also do my other show, The Conti and Kenny Show, which is on every Monday night in the same studio on More Like Radio. You can check that out. And also, I have my comedy CD, my hour that I made back in 2012 called Happiness. I think it's actually, I found out it's on, it's not only on iTunes, it's on Amazon and anywhere. You could buy it anywhere. It's called Joe Conti Happiness. And I think that's it. All right. So, thank you, everybody, and we'll see you next time.
Night, all.
Good night. Good night.
Good night. We'll have to do this again real soon.
How about tomorrow night?
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer, Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.